Yeah, so the idea here is just a basic intelligence run, like sort of a setup that you can use for basically any kind of intelligence run, whatever build you want to use. I think that the basic setup of I just use Carrion Slicer and Ice Spear basically and Night Comet as the basic setup for anything you want to do. That makes it easy enough to run through any section and get any other weapon you want. You know, if you want an hour or two, versus like when I was playing casually before I started learning and implementing no-hit strats, it was like I was in for like 10 hours for a playthrough probably. So just kind of hoping to help people cut down on time a bit. I've done a lot of kind of hard work on, I like to no-hit run, but I'm also just sort of, I play casually because I'm not really good enough or devoted enough to be able to like finish runs. So just trying to do, I like to think of this as like casually no-hitting. Like I'm not min-maxing, but I'm also not like, you basically, I'm not freaking out about what the stats are. I just basically have some checkpoints like, you know, 40, 60. I don't think I want the short sword. I say that I like to play this game like a no-hit runner, but if you watch no-hit runs, they can be quite boring, particularly compared to some of the other, like some of the Dark Souls games where you basically just have to learn a lot of bosses and nail a lot of fights, which is what you kind of think no-hitting should be, but what it's kind of evolved into, and which I think is fine and fun and cool, whatever, is getting the best build you can and, you know, smashing everybody. That's kind of how it works in Elden Ring, which I'm fine with. But I think like to run VS3 a lot more because it's, I mean, just the way the game is built, it's one, a lot more linear, and I think the pacing is a lot better, and the pacing of kind of what the kind of meta Twin Blades route is now is just really fun. It's really fast, and there's good options that you can all accomplish pretty quickly. It's a really fun game to run. And so I think that it's easy enough to apply that same kind of pacing to Elden Ring. You just impose a couple of, you know, there aren't even challenges because it's really just like, it's kind of more like min-maxing of like, okay, so there is no Vort in Elden Ring. There simply isn't. There's not a boss that's like a legitimate boss that's that early on that you can kind of just very easily +0 with like some simple buff. But Margit is basically Abyss Watchers. If you get to a +4, which in this game would be like, you know, +12, like, yeah, like +12 on a smithing or +4 on a somber, then Margit's pretty dang easy. He's pretty much like Abyss Watchers at +4. You just gotta make, you need like maybe like 5-6 openings. The way I want to, the way that I structure this run, and I'm hoping to do one of these for all the stats, is around weapon upgrade level and kind of just progressing through the game as quickly as possible and not going too slowly and giving you clear-cut points where, okay, now these are the points of the game that are kind of open to me now, and that's based on what, you know, sort of stats and weapon upgrade level you should have based on kind of the minimal stuff you should do it by that point. Using these, you know, meta skills like Carrion Slicer and Ice Spear and all the stuff I'm going to use, which are kind of just the basic best stuff everybody has found. And maybe Alexander is this game's Vort. Oh boy. Clip that. Alexander is this game's Vort. You can pretty easily +0 him. He even kind of looks the same. I was saying earlier that the basic goal for an Elden Ring setup is to get to Altus, basically. Like, you just progress the game. And getting to Altus involves getting the 2 Dictus medallion halves in Fort Height and Fort Ferrith in Caelid. And so I'm essentially heading towards Caelid. My spiel about the run is that it's a lot quicker way to play this game, and that is true. However, it is also true that it is just simply one of the downsides of Elden Ring that it is open world. It's an upside and a downside. It's just how it works. So I'm going to do as little as possible in Liurnia and Altus before just moving on to Margit and kind of opening up the game that way. I just feel like if I start to do too much in Liurnia and Altus, it's like I'm already 35 minutes in. I'm going a little slow. I'm like talking and everything, but like, come on, 35 minutes in, DS3, you're already like past Wolnir, having fun. Like, this game deserves a better class of run, right? This is the fastest you can do because it is open world. It's so big. Like, I'm running as fast as I can, as you see. Gilliga could be this game's fort.